What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got some crazy news for you guys in this video. An attempt on President Biden's life was made at the White House. That's right, and I will give you the information here in this video. Also, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy gives us an update on the latest negotiation between him and President Biden over the default of America that they're trying to prevent. Take a listen here.
So we just get back from the White House. I thought the meeting was productive. I thought it was more productive than the other meetings we've had, but we still have differences. We left the meeting with directing the members and the staff to get back together, work through the night, knowing where some of our differences lie, see if there's other ideas of where we could work through. But I've been very clear ever since February 1st. I mean, here we are, June 1st being the deadline. This is not how government should work. This is not how the Republicans want it to work. When I got elected Speaker, as early as January 15, I requested a meeting with the President regarding debt ceiling. We all knew this day was going to come. We thought it'd come later. And I sat with him on February 1st saying, let's work through this together. Let's find where we can find common ground, that we can curve the amount of spending, make our economy stronger, curve inflation and make us less dependent upon China. But he told me for 97 days they wouldn't meet with us. That's really why we're where we are today. The House Republicans, they took action. The Senate never did anything. And that also made it much more difficult because you would have had two bills that you could conference together. We've been working, as you know, day in and day out, trying to get to an agreement. I've been very clear with the President from day one. We're not going to raise taxes. We've got more revenue coming in to government in a 50-year average than any other time in the history. Only two other times do we have this higher percentage. But the problem is we're spending more than almost any time in modern history. So it's a spending problem. We should pull back money that's been wasted. We should help people get jobs by having work requirements. We've seen that work time and again. We should find ways that we cap the amount of spending going outlay because the Democrats had spent so much. Even Joe Manchin had thought of that idea of a 1% cap going forward. I think these are a lot of productive ideas that we have out there, and I think we can, at the end of the day, come to a common ground agreement. And so let me bring up Chairman McHenry, who's been in these meetings all the way through, and he's going to have more meetings. And I can't say enough about the staff from the White House down to the OMB director and also Rashedi. They're principled, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they're very professional in all these negotiations. Patrick?
Look, I would describe, as the Speaker said, the meeting was reasonably productive. To have both the President and the Speaker in the same room with both negotiating teams was a great level-setting exercise with the President back in the country. It was productive to have everyone on the same page of the challenges that we have to coming to terms with the deal. What I sense from the White House is a lack of urgency. I'm chair of the Financial Services Committee. I'm worried about the impacts on the markets. I think to play brinksmanship is not wise when it comes to where we are with the banking system, with the economy. And I think we should have a sense of urgency from the White House team that was not evident in this meeting. The fact is, with every debt ceiling, we take stock of our spending. When Democrats controlled the House and the Senate with a Republican president, they used that opportunity to raise spending. The Speaker has made clear to his negotiating team, Congressman Graves and I, that it was very important that we spend less money next year than we're spending this year. That was imperative to us, to go in the room and make sure we protect the House position on our debt ceiling bill and to negotiate the most conservative terms we possibly can, but one that can pass the Senate and be signed by a Democrat president who's increased spending dramatically in his first 2 years in office. It's a tough challenge. It's a very tough challenge to deal with all the equities at stake. But we have reasonable people in the room that are trying to come to these terms. And I think that is the hopeful sign. But it is a very challenging situation we currently are in. And without a lack of urgency, it's very difficult to deal with the most challenging issues.
I'll tell you, the first thing that Speaker Kevin McCarthy said, I totally agree with, is that government shouldn't work this way. Totally agree with him 100%. Now, whether Biden's to blame for that, which I kind of have to agree with, Biden's probably to blame with this here. Um, Speaker Kevin McCarthy met with him on February 1st, and then Biden waited all the way until May to meet with him again. And here we are at the last minute, a week away from defaulting on the country, and everybody's panicking. And we've never had this before. I've never had a default of our country before, and it would mean a financial collapse of our economic system, stock market, bond market, the US dollar, interest rates. 8 million people plus could lose their jobs, according to independent financial analysts. And this shouldn't be done. This is how, government shutdowns are done this way. Economic plans for the US government, budgets, it just should not come down to the last minute. And we've seen this happen with government shutdowns, and that how many times have we had government shutdowns where they can't come to agreement at the last minute? And one of these times, it's going to happen with a default of our country, which basically sends the message to the world, which it will actually mean that the US cannot pay its bills because the US government won't be able to print more money and will literally run out of money in the US government checking accounts because they will. It's just an absolute nightmare. So you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And again, this is why I'm not left, I'm not right. I just look at things from a realistic point of view. And I have to agree with Kevin McCarthy here. This should have been done a long time ago. We should not be waiting to the last minute. And they seem to be, he says they're making progress here, but he also said that like a week ago, and then Republicans completely walked away from the table. I don't know, maybe not a week ago, a few days ago. But who knows if they're able to make a deal? Who knows if tomorrow they can make a deal, or 5 days from now they'll say, no, we can't make a deal. So let me know your thoughts here on this. Okay, so also we had an incident here at the White House where this person wanted to harm the president. And I'll show you, let you see here this story, and literally went there to seek and, well, I can't say it any other way. Take a look at this footage here and you can be the judge yourself. Here we go.
Begin this very busy hour with that breaking news on the security scare in Washington. A driver now in custody after crashing a U-Haul truck into a barrier just 1 block from the White House last night. Police say they believe the suspect crashed the truck intentionally. A law enforcement official telling NBC News the driver was also making threats to the White House. Investigators also seized a Nazi flag from the scene. Joining us with more is NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles. Ryan, good morning. What exactly happened?
Yeah, Jose, first let me give you an idea of just how close we are to the White House, and then we'll talk about exactly what happened here. First, take a look. You can see the tire tracks where this U-Haul came through, and then it kept careening up through that barrier right there and was stopped at the edge of Lafayette Park. And you can see the White House here behind me, only about a block away from where this U-Haul ended up. Now, the security posture here did its job. This truck wasn't getting any further, but it was relatively close to the White House, enough so where this entire area was shut down, including a hotel that's right across the street from where I'm standing that was evacuated overnight. They were concerned, of course, with what could possibly be inside that U-Haul. After they cleared the scene, they were able to open this area back up, get the people back in the hotel. And that's where they arrested the suspect, who they believe intentionally rammed this U-Haul into these barriers. They found some paraphernalia inside the truck, including a swastika, a Nazi flag. They're not exactly sure what that has to do with this incident, but we are told by law enforcement sources that he was making threatening statements toward the White House, attacks against the White House, and that's part of why he was put under arrest. And this is the suspect. His name is Sai Varshish Kandula. He's a 19-year-old from Chesterfield, Missouri. He's being charged with a number of crimes as a result of this incident, the most serious being threatening to kill, kidnap, inflict harm on a president, vice president, or family member, and destruction of federal property. Now, it's important to point out that at no point do Secret Service believe that the president, the vice president, any member of their family were in any type of danger. Again, the security posture here did indeed work. But, Jose, you have to wonder if that U-Haul had been filled with explosives or some other device that could have caused a lot of damage. A lot of people could have been hurt in this incident. That wasn't the case this time around. No one was hurt. None of the officers that responded or any White House personnel. So this was no doubt a very scary situation, and there will be a price to pay for the suspect if convicted. But at this point, and the investigation continues with no serious injuries. Jose?
And so, Ryan, I know this investigation is just starting in many ways, but do we know anything about this person as far as does this person have a rap sheet? Is there anything about his past that we've been able to find?
At this point, we're starting our own look into his past. Obviously, security officials are as well. We do know that he is from the Midwest, from Missouri. He's only 19 years old. Whether or not he had any specific connection to any white supremacist groups or neo-Nazi organizations, that's something we have not been able to determine as of yet. Obviously, someone that would take a step like this, there's probably a lot going on in their background that investigators still need to look into, but everything at its early stages at this point.
Wow. Only in America does this happen on a daily basis. Unbelievable. I seen him ram the gate there, or seen the footage kind of there, and it made me think of the movie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you've seen that movie where he says, "I'm gonna ram the gate. I'm gonna have to ram the gate." Yeah, let me know if you know what movie that's from. But yeah, this is obviously real life and pretty scary, man. This stuff is real life here. And let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos as well. Here's some videos you should watch next. And they're banning some foods in the US now. You can see here in this video. And Congress is actually debating $14 trillion in cash payments. And you can hear directly from the congressmen and congresswomen in this video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.